to get these cells grown from your skin and then turn into induced pluripotent stem cells, turn into dopamine-producing neurons, and then put into your brain.
Mm-hmm.
And can you? I want to know what it's like. And can you first just spell your name for me, make sure I get that correct?
Edward, Edward.
Okay.
Fitzpatrick, Fitzpatrick.
Okay. So when you tell people when it comes up in conversation what you're hoping to do, what's their reaction when they hear that?
You know, the reaction is, you're really going to do that?
So kind of disbelief, kind of like saying, is this just a fantasy? They're kind of questioning whether it's really going to happen.
Well, I think they're questioning the severity of it, or their perceived severity of it, which is opening up your brain and putting something in there. I said, well, it's not as complicated as you think, but yeah, there's always another hole in the head, so to speak.
Okay. And so you explain that there is precedent for this type of, for something like this
Yes. before,
and that this is a more refined attempt to get those dopamine-producing neurons where they need to be.
Well, that's true, but I basically tell them what it's give them kind of a metaphorical example. I said, what you have here is, so far, what's on the technology is short-term treatments, pharmacology treatments, drug treatments. They have the DBS, which is the
Deep brain stimulation.
Deep brain stimulation, which is electrical treatment, I call it. But they only last a short while. Eventually, the disease wins, and nothing will work again. This, on the other hand, is a long-term effect from a treatment that could essentially make it so that you don't have to worry about it again. I said, think of a wheat field, a mature wheat. It's rectangular like this desk here, and it's remote, so nobody really pays much attention to it until someday somebody's driving by and they see that it had caught on fire, and about 80% of that has been burned. So they say, we have to do something about that. The fire is the disease. The wheat that's burned are the neurons that have been killed by the disease. Well, you can't stop it because you don't have any equipment out there other than just little squirt guns, which are the short-term treatments. And so we need a long-term treatment, but we can't stop the fire. We don't have a cure for it, in other words. So some genius has come along and figured out how to replant this field.
Yeah.
And so they replant the field, and now 80% of it is brand new again. The fire finishes its last 20%, turns around and looks and say, ha, it's back.
Yeah.
So it's a restocking the cupboard, so to speak, which we know we can do that, and then that's a long-term, that's a 30 or 40-year treatment.
Okay.
That rolls back the disease to when it was not understood or felt or even manifested itself in the individual.
So if it works, you could go for many, many years without symptoms, if this works.
And yes, and if the symptoms come back, you do it again.
Okay.
So
just simply replant the field.
Replant the field.
Okay. Okay. And I'd like you to talk about, you had something to say? Oh, I was asking if you had something to say, if you were asking. I have to actually ask some of the